Okay, so we're looking at task 2 answer, advantages and disadvantages. Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Okay, so it's very clearly asking you to give an opinion. Okay, so I want to see this candidate give me an opinion. The topic is, nowadays large shopping malls are becoming more popular than small local shops. Is this positive or negative development? Okay, so it's very clearly asking you to choose a side and explain why. Okay, so you don't have to be balanced, you don't have to talk about equally about both, but you need to be giving me an opinion and you need to be supporting it with reasons why. So if we look at this candidate, it started with their introduction. A lot of people have crowded into shopping centres over the past few decades due to the range of conveniences shopping mall offers. So we've got a sort of a singular and a plural here. Due to the range of conveniences shopping malls offer. I believe that this phenomenon is a negative one, and I will try to explain in this essay why so. Okay, so overall I think this is a pretty strong opening. They've got a clear opinion. They've sort of paraphrased the question quite well. They've given me one of the things they're going to talk about. They've given me due to the range of conveniences. So I know from reading that, one of the first things they're going to talk about is how convenient shopping centres are. But then hopefully they're going to give me the reasons why they disagree with that or why they think that's a bad thing. Okay. The only thing I would suggest they include more in the introduction is to give me the subtopics. Okay. So tell me the reasons why you disagree with that or why you think that we should support local shops. Okay. So something like, I believe that this phenomenon is a negative one because of, and then give me one of the reasons that you're going to talk about something. Okay, so rather than be vague and say, I will try to explain in this essay why so, be specific and let me know what subtopics you're going to talk about. Okay, so that's one of the hallmarks of strong academic writing, is giving subtopics in your introduction. So the reasons for supermarkets becoming popular are manifold. Okay, so my first thing here is that we've got supermarkets. Is a supermarket the same as a shopping mall? No, it's not. Supermarkets are grocery stores. Supermarkets are not necessarily big. Supermarkets can be small. Okay, so I can see they've tried to paraphrase it, but it's not the same thing as a shopping mall. Okay, so this is one of the dangers of paraphrasing. Sometimes candidates try to paraphrase too much and you actually end up picking something that doesn't have the same, that doesn't quite have the same meaning. Okay, so that's my first issue with the sentence. The reasons for supermarkets becoming popular are manifold. Okay, so I quite like manifold. I thought that's a good word. I like that. Firstly, they provide many available options for consumers, ranging from the latest fashions to goods and more. Okay. Consequently, they would have more chances when they choose to buy something they need and can even purchase the latest goods. Okay. So my only real issue with this is that they're being too vague. Fashions, goods, and more, and then they say again goods at the end. Okay. So this is a chance to show me your vocabulary. Show me something I can give you points for. Show me something I can score you for. Okay. So this is where you could give some like other specific vocabulary, ranging from the latest styles and fashions to electronic goods or the latest homeware devices, whatever vocabulary you can remember. This is a good chance for you to show it, okay, rather than sort of be general and vague and say fashions, goods, and more. Okay, that's not going to get you any points from the examiner. Consequently, they have more chances when they choose to buy something they need. So I like to lead with consequently. You're showing reason and result because there's a lot of options. They would have more chances to choose what they want to buy. So I thought that was pretty good. Yep. And so I can see that they're here. They've gone their first point. The reasons why large shopping malls are becoming important is because they have a lot of choice. Okay. But what's interesting is that I know that they are arguing the negative here, and what they've done here is they've just given me the positive, okay? So again, like I'm always saying, they need to then provide their counter argument, okay? Why do they not agree with this, or why is this not such a benefit, okay, to that point, okay? So that's how you're going to extend your arguments, and that's how you're going to improve your task achievement scores. So when you get your feedback that says you're not extending or you're not fully answering the question, is because you're not counter-arguing to your point. So this is a totally correct point. Yeah, sure, supermarkets and shopping centers are becoming more popular because you have a lot of choice. However, you would then need to say, but why has that reason not convinced you that it's a positive thing? You're arguing that it's negative. So you need to tell me, why is this advantaged? Why doesn't it persuade you that shopping centers are more positive than negative, okay? So maybe you would say something like, they would have more chances when they choose to buy something they need and can even purchase the latest goods. However, you know, shopping malls tend to only stock mass-produced, cheaply made items, and when consumers want something of quality, it's better for them to go to a small local shop. Okay, so then you've told me, even though this seemingly is a benefit, why it's actually not a benefit. Okay, and that's how you improve your task completion score. Then we move on to the second paragraph. What I like about this essay is they've written quite a lot for me to look at, so I appreciate that in a candidate. So they've got furthermore, okay, good linking words. So what's interesting here is they've chosen, even though they're arguing the negative, they've chosen to extend talking about the positives, okay? They've told me in their introduction, they think that shopping centers are negative, but they've continued to, they want to do 2 paragraphs talking about the benefits of shopping centers. Furthermore, it's also convenient for consumers to shop in a single place without making multiple stops at different stores to get some products. Again, some products. Show me your vocab, okay? Be specific. There are a number of facilities, including car parking, toilets, deli counters, and resting areas to make shopping a more comfortable and fun experience, okay? So what they've done here is they've listed 3. 1, comma, 2, comma, and then they've got 3. So here they need to put and, okay? So the final 3. 1, comma, 2, comma, and resting areas to make shopping a more comfortable and fun experience. Okay, that's fine. Hence, malls and shopping centers have proven to be time savers and very convenient for the customers. Again, hence, good word. I like the linking word. But again here, what my issue with this is that again, the person is giving me positive without giving me any counter argument. Okay, so I, as a reader, have reached the end of your second paragraph, and I'm thinking, wow, shopping centers sound pretty great, pretty positive. Why would you not want shopping centers? Okay, so again here you need to include a counter argument. It doesn't need to be long. It can just be like 1 sentence explaining why this has not persuaded you. Why do you still think that local stores are better? Why? Okay, so you can add 1 sentence. Hence, malls and shopping centers have proven to be time savers and very convenient for the customers. You know, despite the fact that, you know, local shops are often closer to people's houses. Large shopping centers you need to drive to, okay? Although, hence, people think malls and shopping centers are time savers and convenient, despite the fact that they're often further away from people's homes than the small local shops, or something like that, okay? So that's how you take your positive and you show how actually it can be a negative, okay? And that's very important in expanding your answer for your task completion. Then we move on to the third point. On the other hand, there are certain disadvantages associated with it, okay? With what? So I don't know what it is. We've moved on to a new paragraph, new sentence. So I don't know what it is referring to, okay? So you need to tell me. There are certain disadvantages associated with shopping centers. Okay, so now I know, okay, we're moving on to the disadvantages. The small local shopkeepers are losing their business and will eventually shut down. The closure of small shops in some places will affect the tourism industry. The reason for this impact is a lot of tourists prefer the small shops in the streets rather than big malls, as many local shops sell products that represent the culture and tradition of the city. Okay, so overall this isn't too bad, this is okay. But what I want to see from this is I want to see more explanation and more like explained examples. So we're sort of talking about the local shopkeepers are losing their business, and I do like how they've changed from here. Small local shopkeepers are losing their business and will shut down. Therefore, it's going to affect the tourist industry. The reason it's going to affect the tourist industry is that tourists prefer small shops in the streets. Okay, so this is fine. You're arguing to me why local shops are more important than shopping centers, but you've not really given me any disadvantages to the reasons that you've said. Okay, so why is it that you believe the damage to the tourism industry is more important than the convenience and choice that consumers get? Okay, because you're making this evaluation in your answer. You're saying, here are the positives of the large shopping centers, but this is the negative on small business. Why do you believe the negatives for small businesses are more important than the positives for large shopping centers? Okay? So what I want this candidate to do is to link this idea that it's going to affect the tourism industry to a much bigger point, okay? So this, you could argue something like, you know, this is more important than individual consumer choice, or this affects the economy of a whole region. Okay, you could talk about the regional economy if local shops are lost. Okay, so you're saying that even though consumer choice and convenience is important, this is a much bigger issue that affects more people. That's why I think the negatives outweigh the positives. Okay, so that's what I would have wanted to see from this candidate. Then we've got the conclusion. All aspects considered, I personally believe that the government needs to pay attention to small local shops. Although large shopping centres, shopping malls are gaining, so you can do whatever tense you want to use. Malls have gained much popularity, a lot of popularity. The closure of small malls will bring too many problems, okay? I don't think small malls, I guess, I think we're talking about small shops, local shops, small businesses, will bring too many problems for this to be considered a positive development. Okay, so overall, I really like this conclusion. I thought it was pretty good. Summarized nicely. I think I would have liked them to have maybe mentioned too many problems, but actually they only really gave me one problem, which is tourism. Okay, so they said too many problems, but I think that could have been expanded more. So my main question with this essay was that it felt quite unbalanced, okay? Because they're arguing for the negatives, but then they do one positive, one negative, and then the conclusion, okay? So the essay feels unbalanced. So what I would have liked to see is maybe just like one positive, two negatives, or even if this candidate added in the counter argument to both of these paragraphs, it would have made it overall a much stronger essay. Because what it felt like, it was going, well, I think they're negative, but here's the positive, oh, but there's also a negative, okay? So if he adds these sentences talking about the counter arguments to the two positives, it's building the essay stronger and stronger, okay? So one of the things they ask for is they want to look at your task achievement and your cohesion, is that you're logically building through the essay, okay? And that's what they mean, that you're being consistent in your point of view, okay? And you're not surprising the examiner when they get to the end and they realize, oh yeah, no, I remember they actually were negative about this. So that would have been my recommendation, because the essay felt a little bit unbalanced about that. So overall for task achievement, I quite liked it. I thought they did quite a good job. So I gave a 6 for task achievement. For coherence and cohesion, I thought they did a good job. So I would give a 6.5 for that. Vocabulary, again, I thought they did a pretty good job. And also the same for most of their grammar was okay. So overall, I think I would have given this essay a 6.